All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Very excited. Many people call the Divisional playoff weekend the best weekend in the NFL. Not sure if I necessarily fully agree, but certainly should be some really, really good matchups. Starting with the first one, Bengals at Titans. Excited to have Kit on the call after some busy holiday seasons. Kit, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Divisional round is exciting, certainly. I don't know if I agree that it's the best NFL football, but it's certainly up there. Who would have seen these two teams coming in this game? Sure. The Titans versus the Bengals. Bengals, I think, were a bit of a sleeper in the AFC North. A lot of folks kind of overlooked them in our own division, and they went on to take it, and then the Titans, after Henry went down, many folks thought they were just going to be done for this season, and look where they are now. So two very, very good teams, and should be an exciting watch.
Yep, and I'm glad that you mentioned Derrick Henry, Kit, because I went to go try to put him back in, so it looks like he's going to play, and the Madden rosters still have him IR'd, so I physically could not put him in the game. So that could be a pretty big factor in terms of what could really end up happening, because by all accounts he is going to suit up, but whatever the most recent roster update would not take him off of IR, so I could not take him off of IR. Hey George, welcome in. Welcome Dodd as well. Good to have you on. So, all right, 1st and 10 here. Also, by no fault of our own, basically because we were trying to match. Oh, there he is. He's in the game right there. He catches the ball out of the backfield. So, maybe my depth chart did overpower the injury delineation that he carried. So there you go. Tried to be as realistic as possible here.
Yeah, good to see.
But anyway, what I was trying to say is Kit and I had been force winning the actual results of all of the games so that we could, our simmed season could match up. But because you can't force a tie, the stupid Bengals tie screwed up the whole. They couldn't get into the playoffs without that tie.
Yeah, the Steelers.
The Steelers couldn't get in. So rather than running it out of our simmed franchise, we're actually this is an old-fashioned exhibition game with the most up-to-date rosters. So now it does account for the progression of the players during the year. So Joe Burrow certainly higher than when he started the season, Jamar Chase, things like that as well, which was not a great thing for the Browns when I went and looked at the Browns rosters. A lot of their guys, with the exception of Newsome and JOK, and obviously we know Miles made it up to the 99 club this year. The majority of the rest of the Browns not better than when they started the season. So.
Yeah, a little bit of regression as Derrick Henry takes it out to the outside. Nice little stretch for him and capturing the edge. But
absolutely, his first carry of the day, 21 yards, and again they are very excited to have him back. Everybody except I think the Bengals excited to have Derrick Henry back.
Yep. Speaking of excited to be back, thanks George. I very much am glad to be back on this one, and life has been pretty chaotic, so I might be a little bit hit or miss for when I can join. With everything going on for me, but in the midst of escrow on a house right now.
Into the end zone. Former Brown, Dontrell Hilliard. He's going to be in as the third down back, as I'm assuming they won't give Henry quite a full load. Nice broken tackle there at the 21-yard line, and then it was just turn on the Jets and outrun Logan Wilson, the linebacker. Touchdown Titans, they're on the board first.
Yep,
very efficient drive.
We Browns fans certainly know what Dontrell Hilliard is capable of as he breaks off a nice little run there. He is a shifty back, and he's got some jets when he needs to. So we saw him escape there, and nice little rush. Good opening drive for these Titans.
Yeah, absolutely, a quick drive too. Again, a couple of long touches for Derrick Henry as they continue to get his feet wet here. Ah, yes, I forgot about the random 1 minute of let's watch the huddle before the kickoffs.
Oh yeah, it's been a
part
while.
Of exhibition mode. Yeah, gosh,
it's been a minute.
Yes, it has. Holy smokes!
I forgot how much I didn't miss this.
Well, it was all those commercials we were going to put in. Talk about your company here. Kit used Rocket Mortgage for his most recent. No, I don't know. I don't actually know that.
But. No, not really.
But he could have, and he could have saved. All right, there's the kick. All right, here we go. All right, Joey B. And the Bengals, the upstart Bengal. Again, at the beginning of the year, man, Zach Taylor was on the hot seat.
He was, and
now
certainly
here they
not
are,
anymore.
Division champs. Although maybe he should have for the way they almost screwed up the end of that Kansas City game.
Right.
With the whole refusal to score business.
Yeah, that was certainly wild, but here they are, so.
Here they are. All's well that ends well, I suppose. Joey B. going to turn around. Little play action to Mixon. He's got lots of time. Now he's going to step up in the pocket and fire deep into double coverage and incomplete. Interesting choice on first down with the bomb to T. Higgins, incomplete.
Yeah, interesting indeed. A little bit of a crow hop there, not able to get the mustard behind that one that he needed to get to T. Higgins, because T. Higgins had a step, but just a few more feet on that ball, and he probably walks into the end zone.
Burrow under center once again. Pitch it to the right side to Mixon. He's got some blockers, and he can't make the second man miss. Going to say no gain on the play. Sets up a 3rd and 10 for the Bengals. Joe Mixon being healthy this season, obviously a big reason why they are still in the playoffs, as he's had a very solid year, and there really is no metric like players staying healthy in the NFL, especially with the salary cap the way that it is and all kinds of things. As Burrow fires deep left side, and Chase can't bring it in, takes a hit at the end from the safety Bayard, and Jamar Chase drops it 3 and out for the Bengals.
Yeah, Chase was actually open in the window, but a little bit late by Burrow recognizing the spot and actually threw it to where the defender was. If he throws it a little bit earlier there, he had Chase down the sideline as he opened up or flashed in that little gap there. But yeah, no injury. You mentioned the injuries. That has been. I mean, obviously the Browns. We saw the metric on the channel for how very injured the Browns were, and that was a huge factor for us in this season. With what we can only call a disappointing season, but you know, injuries are going to happen, and finding a way through them is part of the challenge. But that's where I have to go back to. I fully trust and support Andrew Berry and what he's going to do with this roster and has continued to do. So the future still is bright. I don't think we need to don't give up hope just yet, just because this season didn't work out the way we wanted it to. Cosign over here as well. A little play action flare pass to King Henry's going to pick up 2, sets up a 2nd and 8. Again, appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy and Kit Nagy running the divisional playoff games. We'll do one today, try to do one again tomorrow during lunch, and then find a time to try to get the Sunday games in before Sunday, if at all possible. So maybe another one after school today. We'll see. First down to King Henry. Jermaine Pratt, the linebacker, on the tackle. Just another little flare pass. Definitely an emphasis on getting their best player touches early in the game. Yeah, it certainly has been, and it's been working for them.
Yeah, sure. They've driven that momentum meter all the way up for them here in Nashville. Here's fires to the right side, and it's almost picked off. Ferkser's going to come down with it, the tight end. Awuzie tried to jump the route just a half second late. Let's see if we get a better replay of it here.
Yeah, and that was just Tannehill trusting that Ferkser was going to come away with that one. The big body tight end able to high point that right over the top of Awuzie. Awuzie is a good player, and actually had good position, but sometimes it's a matchup game, and that's what happened there.
Absolutely. This one's tipped over the middle, and it's going to be picked off. Jesse Bates has got it, and he'll be pushed into the end zone. But off the tip drill, the Bengals have a first down and 99 to go. Their defense rises to the occasion.
Yeah, that was just swarming defense there, swarming to the point of attack just like you need to. He wasn't actually on the receiver until late, but makes a play on the ball after the tip, and that's why you never give up on it. Never give up on the ball, because you never know when it might pop up like that, and a timely interception.
Absolutely. Going for Julio Jones there on the left side. Here's Mixon, and he's barely going to get out of the end zone.
Yeah, I think he had
Jeffrey Simmons.
One blade of grass out of the end zone on that one.
Yeah.
That one was tight.
Indeed. Do apologize. You don't need to adjust your sound. I do have a bit of a cold, but it's not COVID, because I had COVID over break, so it's just a regular cold, but it does make me sound a little congested. Burrow now running for his life. Watch out! He's going to try to get rid of it. Nobody there. He gets hit. No flag, though. A little slow to get up for Joey B.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky throw there. The defender was in a better spot, and he's fortunate he was able to get it to the grass and not to the defender there, because that's the kind of spot, especially with that hit coming. You don't want to be throwing that ball if you can avoid it, but obviously you don't want to take a safety either, so kind of a rough spot.
Absolutely. All right, here he is. Watch out, pressure coming from the blitz. He's going to get it off to his tight end, and unfortunately the tight end sample is going to be a couple of yards short, able to just get their punter a few extra yards here, as the Tannehill interception appears to not be a concern.
And I know that doesn't seem like a big deal right there, getting a few extra yards for the punter, or that getting from the one blade of grass line to the 9-yard line, but that actually is a huge deal. Giving that punter the extra room to do what he needs to do. I mean, a blocked punt can result in a touchdown, could result in a safety. You've got a bunch of bad outcomes, stacking your punter back there, plus you're giving them less distance they have to travel to block it. So just a lot of bad things that can happen with your punter backed up in the end zone like that. So that little bit of breathing room is a big deal.
It absolutely is. All right. Not the best of punts there by the veteran Hubbard. And inside Bengal territory, they're going to start with a nice throw to the right side. And it's Julio Jones, and he catches the football. And he's up to the 27-yard line. First down strike, 18 yards from Julio, who really is yet to kind of flash in Tennessee. He was such a big name. And I know there were some injury things, but just feels like we haven't really heard about the highlights.
Yeah, no, Julio's been kind of quiet, although he's had his moments. But I do have to say, this Tennessee offense, outside of almost another pick there on another tip drill, and that outside of that earlier pick, really has been really clicking pretty effectively here. We've seen some pretty well designed plays, getting receivers open, and then the rush game, obviously with King Henry back, has been doing its thing.
Yep, they have looked sharp here to start the game as well. Here is King Henry off tackle right side. Nice big hole and a good tackle by Awuzie in space. Not an easy thing to do, to bring down King Henry one-on-one.
Well, and I mean, even in the game, he looks like a man amongst boys. I mean, it's just true to life. He just is that big. And the fact that he can run as fast as he can at that size, I mean, there's a reason why he's as good as he is.
Absolutely. And somebody who I think maybe the game is finally... I think he's about as good as he is in real life in the game.
Yep.
Still waiting for Nick Chubb to get that treatment as well.
Yeah, they're starting to I mean, more so than when we started, certainly. But
yes.
But
yes,
yeah,
he went up. His rating is higher than the beginning of the game.
Yes,
Speaking of players who didn't regress.
Right. But the fact that he's doing things that the list is very short and very distinguished for the things that that are comparable to what Nick Chubb is doing in the league. Eventually he will get the due.
Yep. Indeed. All right, an 8-yard run on first down since the 2nd and 2. They still can get a first down inside the 5. Tennessee threatening to double their lead here. Tannehill in a shotgun. He's back to pass. He's got time. He's got a little square out, and that's an easy pitch and catch, and a touchdown for Chester Rogers, the wide receiver, the one that you haven't heard of. Picks up the touchdown catch there, and Tennessee opens up the lead.
A nice little easy route there, just designed to be one yard into the end zone there, and clean break. He really wasn't challenged on the break there by the defender, made it pretty easy for him, and then Tannehill had no problem putting it right on him. I mean, you design a play that opens up that cleanly, and you're going to hit that every time.
Absolutely, yeah. That one was predicated on not having any pressure in his face.
Yep.
For sure. Chester Rogers, 5th-year player out of Grambling, 6 foot 184.
Yeah, I couldn't have told
listed
you that.
Listed as their slot receiver. No, I had to go to the interwebs for it, for sure. So 14-0, 7:09 to go here. Still first quarter. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy joining you for Nagy on Sports with our live full game, full NFL sims. Again, do apologize for the little gap here before the kickoffs. I'm not sure why we have to have them, but in exhibition mode we do. So we'll get the playoffs done. We'll try to stay with them before they actually happen. and then we'll wrap up and do a Browns off season in our franchise, and then head into the future.
Yeah.
Draft 1 million receivers and defensive tackles.
Yeah, it is funny to think how incredibly dynamic the playoffs are in terms of one single tie, like that whole butterfly effect, where you end up with everything is completely different. You don't even have the right matchups because of a tie.
Well, and who is it for? The luckiest team in the league, right? The Steelers.
Right. That's right.
And I remember even going into Week 18, there was like 5 things that had to happen, including Jacksonville winning, and they against a team that had to win to get in, and they murdered them.
Right.
Like, what in the world?
Well, and we saw, in that wild card weekend, we saw just how much the Steelers did not deserve to be in the playoffs because they got slaughtered.
Correct, they did. Bengals continuing to go backwards here after a sack. Bud Dupree getting home to Joe Burrow. This time they try to pitch it to the left on a 2nd and 21. And unfortunately for the Bengals, they have gone the wrong direction. I think they may have negative yards so far here on offense.
Yeah, Tennessee is certainly starting to exert their dominance here as Cincinnati is really struggling to get anything going, and they're going to need to get some of their playmakers involved if they want to have a chance in this. We need to see some chase.
Indeed, we're going to get a flag on the play. He's going to go deep. He's got a man. It is Chase. He's got it. Inside the 30, but I think we're going to get a holding. We are. Jonah Williams. No. Take him back.
Can't do that. Can't do that. You can't have that. Especially when, we just talked about how much they need to get this going. That is such a buzzkill for you have a massive play. You get your best player involved. Hit him on a deep strike. Beautiful read by Burrow, but a hold to bring it back. That's rough.
Can he dial it up again on a 3rd and 29? He cannot. He's going to dump it off to Tyler Boyd for a short gain of 6. Burrow now 2 of 5 for 13 yards. And that holding penalty was a killer. And another punt upcoming. Tennessee, danger of blowing this one open in the first quarter.
Yeah, certainly. That play alone could have been enough of a momentum swing to get this offense into it. Maybe get the defense playing a little bit more solidly for the Bengals and potentially change the feel and the tenor of this game. But just that one mental error, that one hold there being enough to take that one off, and instead it adds to the momentum the wrong way.
Absolutely. Hey James, welcome in, brother. Trips to the right side for Tannehill. Another short field for the Titans, starting on the Bengals' 43-yard line with, again, a chance to blow this thing wide open. Tannehill fires right side. Coming back to the football is Julio Jones, and he'll pick up a nice 6 or 7 yards there on first down.
Yeah, minus the interception, cleanly efficient game here for Tannehill. 9 for 11 now for almost 100 yards, and he's got the one touchdown also, but he's quietly putting together a nice little efficient game, and obviously with King Henry back there, you can tell that they're feeling that.
A slant again right there. Julio, first down inside the 25. And they are cooking with gas. I don't know if you saw the little stat ticking up there. It's 153-0 in total yards right now.
I didn't see that. That's wild.
Yes, they have net 2 passing yards and net -2 running yards as a team, do the Bengals here to start the game. Speaking of running yards, here's Henry. Nice tackle. There's Bates, the safety, coming up to make the tackle as they tried to stretch it to the left side.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do with that big man out on the outside.
Yeah, James, that was hard to see as well. Obviously, many of us Browns fans like Larry O a lot.
Yeah.
Great person. I know you have a strong affinity for him as a local
soft
kid as well.
Definite soft spot there for Larry O.
And he'll be a free agent, and I've seen some predictions about having him come back to Cleveland. Now all of a sudden defensive tackle is a huge need.
I don't know that that's very likely, but we'll see.
Yes, we will see. We had 7 sacks this year, and I think he had a good season, played well next to DJ Reader and
he did.
And Hubbard/Hendrickson. I don't know which side he played on specifically, but
yeah, D tackle is a big question mark at this point with the D line, especially because you've got one that's just been arrested and he's likely
gone.
Likely out of the NFL with everything that's happened with him. And then the other one really did not produce the way you'd hoped. Obviously, I think they were hoping for a veteran presence in the locker room as well, which you still get that. But, the production really wasn't there because he's clearly kind of on the backside of his career. But, he
was a one-year prove-it. Was Malik a one-year prove-it deal as well, I think?
Yes, I believe he was a one-year deal as well.
And maybe you feel good about Togia and Elliott as your second tier, but,
maybe.
I'm not sure if either of those guys are ready to start every day yet.
I don't know that they're quite there. Togia was coming on late in the season and starting to look, much more like we had hoped he could be. But he's not consistent yet, and I think that's the biggest knock on Elliott too, is just the consistency. Sure. He flashes, when he flashes in a really big way, but he's just not. He's not nearly as consistent in that a presence in the center that you want him to be.
Yeah. Yep, and it's not a super great defensive tackle class.
No.
As opposed to wide receiver, which it's a crazy. I mean, you could get 2 or 3 receivers on all 3 days who could all be impact player. I mean, there are just some really good receivers available. So it's a good year to have that need.
Right, and we certainly do have that need. As DPJ is probably your best receiver, but he is yet to fully take on the mantle of the number one. I think he can and probably will do that. Give him time. He works very hard. He's great again, but it's a consistency thing where he eventually will get there, I think.
Hey, first down for the Bengals.
Yeah, there's defense, some positive yardage.
Yeah, defense is able to hold him to a field goal, get a little bit of juice. Joe Mixon up the middle for a first down. That gives them positive yards in the game for the first time now with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, down again 17-0 to start the game. So let's see if that triggers a little something here. 13 personnel for the Bengals. Slant left side, Chase found a little gap. Nice throw and catch. Give him about 9.9 yards on that play, second and inches.
Well, the fact that Joe Burrow only has 6 attempts so far in the first quarter, only 3 of those completed, that's pretty wild to me. That's how. Yeah. I mean, that speaks of how ineffective the offense has been so far. So finally getting something going here, they need it.
Okay, that's what a couple of 3 and outs will do for you. Burrow now on the run, fires left side. He's got Chase on the sideline, down to the 25-yard line. Jamar Chase has been as good, if not better, than advertised.
Yeah, getting him involved on that little hitch route. You see him just do the little button out on the outside, on the perimeter, gets his feet down. Getting him involved in this game with just now his second reception, that's so important because he is such a momentum guy for this offense.
Absolutely, right up the middle. Mixon, and he's going to be swallowed up by Tahir Tart, the defensive tackle here in this Mike Vrabel base 3-4 defense. There's Vrabes right on cue.
What a mang.
He is.
Yeah, he is. I always liked Vrabes from the days he played in Ohio State. He was always such a monster, and then,
yes, he was.
Always watched his career with great interest just because he was always fun to watch. And then I've always, I enjoy him as a coach too. He brings a certain kind of, I don't know, just a pizzazz to it that's really, it's quiet and steady, but very demanding. And
yeah, you can tell his players like playing for him too.
They do. He's definitely a good coach, and got to be impressed with what he's done in his career in the NFL.
Exactly. Here's a 3rd and 9 right side. He's got Higgins right at the sticks. Are they going to give him the yardage? They are. First down and goal. First down in the red zone for Burrow. And yeah, you're right, James. That's why so many of us scratched our head at the Jamar Chase pick. Now, again, obviously he's proved to be absolutely a game wrecker. So it's always going to be about keeping Burrow upright and healthy. Here's Burrow across the middle, and it's a bad pass, and it's intercepted. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's about,
ends the quarter with an interception.
That's about the last thing you could afford there. That momentum was really starting to work in your favor, getting a drive going. Everything was kind of clicking, getting your best players involved, and then throwing a pick is, again, like that holding call. It's just can't have that.
Absolutely. Give it right back to the Titans. 5 yards on first down for Derrick Henry. So I guess you could take a little bit of solace from the drive, but yeah, certainly a brutal way to end it.
Certainly. At that point, it just looks better on the individual stat sheets, not in the game or how the game is actually playing out.
Absolutely it is. Here he is throwing to the left side. Nobody's even turned around looking for it yet. Errant throw, I guess.
He's actually lucky the defenders weren't looking for it either, because they had a better shot at that than his receiver did. But they were all heads turned the wrong way, and nobody sees it coming, because that could have easily been picked and gone for 6.
Yeah, such a poorly timed throw, and the defense was caught off guard.
That's right.
Now climbing the pocket, moving in the pocket, floating it right side, single coverage and knocked away. Awuzie again on Rodgers. Tannehill with some pocket presence there. That's kind of fun to see.
Yeah, it was interesting. He ran into his own lineman there for a second, kind of backed out of it and found a way to get the ball out of his hands, but Awuzie again in good position, able to make a play, and this time not the matchup, challenge that he had on Ferkser earlier. So able to come away with a nice knockaway.
Yes, he is. And the Bengals able to finally force a punt. First drive that didn't end in points, of course, other than the interception for the Titans. That's right, Nate Davis is another one of your 49ers, isn't he, James? Your Charlotte 49ers. All right, double tight ends to the left side, 2 receivers to the right for Joe Burrow. Turnaround play action to Mixon. Fires it quickly over the middle. He's got Chase across the 50-yard line into Titan territory. Give it to him up at the 44-yard line, 9 yards. Zach Cunningham, former Houston Texan, on the tackle. Base formation for Burrow. He's under center. He's got Mixon by himself. They run a tight end jet sweep with C.J. Uzomah, and it loses a yard.
Yeah, that didn't work so well.
Yeah, he didn't fool anybody there.
Yeah.
Jet sweep to the tight end. I guess maybe if you got Kyle Pitts or something. But
I mean, yeah, there are some tight ends I would consider doing something like that with, but I don't know that C.J. Uzomah is one of them.
And then they try to run up the middle on 3rd and 1. He's going to lose yard again. Jeffrey Simmons right in the middle of that play, and I think the Bengals got to think about going for this.
Yeah, I think so. Down 17, in the first half here, 12 and a half to go, but they're going to punt instead.
Yes, they are. Punt and play defense.
And at that point in that kind of no man's land there, yes, hopefully you're trying to pin them back, which they do not do. Going for it, if you get a first down, you get your opportunity for some of that momentum back, and that's the biggest thing in this game right now is if you allow this to just continue as is, which is kind of what a punt does, then you're really going to have no shot at coming back in this game. So that absolutely should have been a go for it. Yeah, that was the time.
And not a great punt at that. Out of bounds the 24.
No, yeah, definitely not. So they got missed on everything.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. Throw and catch there to slot receiver Chester Rogers. Once again, he has the 2nd touchdown of the game for the Bengals. Zach Taylor surveys the field. Shotgun look for Tannehill here. Back to pass, little blitz coming. They pick it up. He's able to get it off, but he overthrows everybody. Looking for A.J. Brown. Sets up a 3rd down. Bengals need to get off of the field.
Yeah, this is kind of what you're gambling on here, is that your defense was going to suddenly step up and stop these Titans, but a 3rd and 4 is a very makeable down and distance for the Titans, so we'll see what happens.
Yep, hold on to your butts, as Samuel L. Jackson would say. Left side, and they got the first down. They needed 4. They got 5. Ferkser in double coverage, but it still counts. First down, Titans.
Yeah, it sure does, and that's the kind of thing that, you gambled on. Obviously, we don't know if they're going to score a touchdown or a field goal or manage to get to punt yet, but that's the kind of thing. Those add up. and gambling on your defense when they're able to do this kind of efficient offensive play just like that. And those are the gambles that don't pay off when you know your defense hasn't been playing that great in this game anyway. You really need your offense to get going, and that's, again, that punt is kind of looming large here as the Titans continue to drive.
Yeah, did a nice job, the blitzing linebacker Marcus Bailey there out of Purdue. Actually played high school football. Oh, it's almost picked. He jumped the route.
Yeah, I think he found his way to. He would have found. He was thinking about his end zone celebration there because he saw that green grass right in front of him, and he had all kinds of room to probably score, but instead not able to come away with it. That should have been a pick six. Some missed opportunities for the Bengals. Certainly.
So far in this game, another throw to Ferkshire is going to cut it in half, sets up a 3rd and medium. Anyway, finishing my thought, Marcus Bailey, that linebacker 51 for the Bengals, actually went to Hilliard-Davidson High School, same high school I went to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He might be the only guy in the league from our high school right now. Well, maybe no, Nate Ebner went to our high school too. I don't know if I think he's still in the league. A longtime special team wizard for the Patriots.
Yeah, he wasn't Dublin, but and he's not in the league anymore. But it wasn't what's his name? Quinn, wasn't he Dublin?
He was, yes. Brady Quinn, Dublin Kaufman, right? Our rival right up the road.
That's right.
Yep. 1st and 10 now. Titans just continue to keep converting. Up the middle, another handoff to Hilliard, who had the first touchdown. 3 carries, 38 yards. Pretty good average for the 3rd down back today. Zach Taylor a little pudgy on the sideline over there. I don't think he's that
No, not in real
thick
life.
I don't think he's that thick in real life. 2nd and 5. Pressure coming from Hendrickson. He's going to hit, this is from Hubbard. He's going to hit it. He's actually going to throw a wobbly pass that's caught by Rogers.
Yeah, for no gain. It was actually a throw out of a sack, effectively, like an incompletion at that point. Goes for the stat line for a completion, but lucky in that case that his receiver was the one in that spot, not an interception. Those are dangerous throws when you're taking that context.
All right, pressure actually just rushing 4, and they hold it up pretty well. Tannehill back in the end zone. He's got his man, but he can't quite get the Tootsies down.
Wow.
What a catch by Julio Jones, but just cannot get the toes down in the end zone. Field goal coming.
And that's not much. That's really not like Julio. He's one of the better receivers in terms of body control and getting his feet inbounds. So a bit surprising he wasn't able to do so there.
Uh-oh, fake! A fake field goal to the backup quarterback. Logan Woodside, and he's going to get tackled.
That was wild.
Turnover.
And he actually had the room to the outside. If he continued bouncing to the outside, he might have made it. But instead, he cuts it back inside to where all the defenders are and gets tackled right away. That was crazy.
That is crazy. George, your cousin goes to Darby? I live like a couple wind-dated 8-irons from Darby High School. And I teach students from all 3 of the Hilliard schools, including Darby. That's wild. Small world. Another completion to Jamar Chase. He's been about the only bright spot for this offense. And even caught that huge pass that didn't end up counting.
Right. That's true.
Burrow again, long pass over the middle. He's got his second man in the levels concept, and it's T. Higgins, both Higgins and Chase over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, they
I retweeted a stat about like the remaining playoff teams, and all of them had a 1,000-yard receiver and a tight end with more than like 6. It was pretty staggering in terms of like here's the kinds of weapons that you need to have to be a playoff team, and Browns just didn't have those weapons this year.
Nope.
For whatever reasons. Burrow just standing there forever, and then he finally throws it to the left side. He's got an open receiver, Uzama, for a first down. He just stood there.
That was interesting.
Kept their block, yeah.
Yeah, it worked though. I mean, finding your tight end on the outside for that. I mean, one of the blockers was just standing over his guy who was just laying on the ground. So
sure, yeah.
It's kind of wild.
I'm just going to stay here and make sure you don't try to get up.
Yep.
Burrow again, wiggling, moving, firing, left side, and it's picked again. Chase didn't turn around. And he's picked off for a second time. He takes a huge hit.
Well, once again,
Christian Fulton, the corner LSU player. What a play.
Once again, it was that same thing that he did earlier where he recognized Chase coming open late, threw it late to the window. If he throws it earlier, he's got Chase open. He just needs to make that decision sooner. Instead, he waits until the defender has a play on the ball. Defender gets the ball first. I mean, that's plain and simple. Same thing we saw before. It just wasn't an interception last time, but this time it bites him.
And the Bengals once again just self-inflicted wounds so far in this first half.
Yep.
At this point, you're lucky to only be down 17.
That's right.
2nd and 1 here for Tannehill. Steps back into a shotgun. Bengals defense has been on the field for an awful long time, too. It's going to start to catch up with them here eventually. They throw it to Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Played at Indiana, I remember. Nick Westbrook at Indiana. Big, tall receiver, like 6'3". Little out route. First down. 3 tight ends. We've seen a lot of 13 personnel here to start the game from both teams.
Yeah.
It's like a Browns game up in here.
Well, the Titans do that a lot more than most teams. So that's
not more than us, though. We do it like 20% more than anybody.
No, I know. I just in terms of the rest of the NFL, the Titans are higher on that list than a lot of other teams. We don't expect it a lot out of the Bengals, however, so that is a bit surprising. We've seen quite so much from the Bengals in this one.
Well, in fairness, they were on their own goal line, so
true.
Maybe that's the only time they run it. Here's Henry again. He's just back-to-back rush just tells Logan Wilson. It was his left hand, too. Just sit down, kid.
I think he just tattooed his name on that guy's his forehead right there. Take that.
It's Logan Wilson, second-year linebacker out of Wyoming.
Yeah. He'll be feeling that one in the morning, Logan Wilson.
Yeah. Yes, he will. 2nd and 1. Still 5 minutes to go, first half. Motion and now a jet sweep give to the receiver. That is Chester Rogers, and he's going to be tackled right away. 3rd and 1. Bengals really got to get off the field.
And, of course, when he looks in the mirror in the morning, he might just well see a King Henry stamp there.
That's right, exactly. There's another 13 personnel. All 3 tight ends to the left side now. One of them leaves the pocket. That's Swaim, and that's a first down. Good old Jeff Swaim. We had him in our future Browns a couple years ago. Or, feels like a couple years ago. Last year when we simmed into the future. Tannehill shotgun look again. Pressure coming, but they're able to maintain it. Now he's going to leave the pocket to the left side and just throw it out of bounds. We'll say both quarterbacks showing pretty advanced pocket sense from what we're used to.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if if we shouldn't be in exhibition mode, and maybe it's an exhibition mode thing, because
I don't know.
My goodness, it's been way better.
It has been, and I think I don't think that we can. I don't know if you can change. I don't think these even have our sliders accounted for, because I'm not sure if you can change.
I think the sliders are franchise specific, aren't they?
Yeah. The only control I had was all men.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
It is interesting.
So maybe they've actually made some updates that have made it a little bit more realistic. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows? Tannehill, right side, back of the end zone, knocked away. Good coverage there.
Yeah, second time Julio Jones not able to come away with what normally would be a touchdown for him. The first time he couldn't get his feet in. The second time he couldn't come away with the ball. That one was, uncharacteristic. He's usually great at those.
Safety Von Bell, go Bucks. In coverage there, back of the end zone, sets up 2nd and goal now from the 9. 3 tight ends again to the right side. They all leave in the package. He's going to find one of them, and he's going to step into the end zone. Touchdown, Jeff Swaim. And now the beatdown is getting pretty official.
Yeah, it's barring a really quick response here in the 2-minute drive for the Bengals after this kickoff from the touchdown. They really have no hope, because that's this 24 point to overcome in a second half where you've really struggled with all of the first half. You'd have to have a complete reversal of fortunes on both sides of the ball, and that seems like a big ask. But maybe if they can get something going here, score quickly, and go into the locker room with just a little bit of that juice, a little bit of that confidence, maybe they could have a shot at doing something in the second. But not if they come out flat.
Very true, and they do get the second half kick to the Bengals. So if you could get yourself a double dip, 24-14, you're right back in this game.
Absolutely.
I just haven't really shown me.
Yeah, they've got.
They got to be doable here.
They got to execute. They got to stop making the mental errors. The hold killed them earlier. They've had the interceptions that have killed them. The mental mistakes. That's what it's been. Those drive killers have been brutal for these Bengals, and they can't have that here. They've got to finally string it together, get themselves in the end zone, and then they've got to do it again coming out of the locker room. That's really got to be the answer to if they want to be in this game.
Absolutely. All right, 3 minutes and 1 second on the clock. Burrow and the offense back out on the field. You can see there are 104 total yards for that unit here so far. That's not going to get it done. 7 of them on the ground.
Yep.
Here's a jet sweep to Jamar Chase. He cuts it up the field, and he'll get a couple. And then be taken down right away. Jamar Chase, just 3 yards.
I wish our coach could look that realistic. That looks like Vrabes, whereas our coach looks nothing like Stefanski.
I agree. Here's Mixon, big hole left side. Oh, nice stiff arm at the end of the play as well. He's got a first down on the left side, about doubles his rushing total in 2 yards.
Yeah, Mixon.
Monty Hooker, the safety, Mixon right in the chin.
Mixon getting his own tattoo gun out.
Mm-hmm.
Take that.
Take that, indeed. It's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Their own 42-yard line. Again, have to get a touchdown here. And yes, George, you know it. We'll go into the offseason. Put our pretend Andrew Berry hats on. Bro, just oodles of time. Holy smokes. A blocker finally breaks 3, and then Burrow throws it away. Jeez, that was like
wild.
10 seconds.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. That was insanely long, and not very realistic from the pass rush perspective. Also, just that doesn't happen in the NFL. Not sitting there. Burrow would have elected to run at some point in there.
Yes, absolutely. Here he is, back to pass, 2nd and 10. Dump it off over the middle. He's got Tyler Boyd, and I think he's going to stretch the football across the line to gain. He is. First down, Bengals.
Because all of these NFL quarterbacks worth their salt have an internal clock in terms of how much time they have to get rid of the ball and or make a decision to run, and he was way past that.
Yeah. Well, and as James so adequately put in the chat, anytime a play would actually happen like that, you'd get an eligible man downfield. Like the blocker's just going to stay there.
Right. Yeah.
Wait.
No, that's not happening. Yeah, absolutely true.
7 yards. Still have all 3 timeouts. Doesn't seem like they're in much of a hurry right now. Now we're going to get a timeout.
James, yes, absolutely agree. No more LaBeouf. No more Gopher. We need to get rid of all of those poor COVID year rookie coaches. They were absolutely done a huge disservice by Madden, and that needs to stop.
Let's see. We're going to get 8 new coaches for next year already.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's Burrow back to pass right in front of the right tackle who just got murdered, and they throw it to the right side.
He sure did. He was on his rear in a hurry there. That was quite the bull rush on the edge.
That's Isaiah Prince, former Ohio State Buckeye, playing right tackle, and he just got obliterated.
Yeah, and James, you mentioned earlier that that this Bengals team give them a truly good O-line, and they could be very dangerous. And I fully agree. This O-line is their weakness. But if they were to fix that, look out, they'd be good. Very, very, very good.
Burrow just chucks it out of the back of the end zone. Live to play another down. 49 seconds left.
All right, here's the put up or shut up moment. They've got to get something going in 49 ticks to get it done.
Absolutely, they do. Back to pass, Burrow. He's got a man. It's Higgins again inside the 15 to the 10. 43 seconds and counting.
Well, they clearly saved that play and that concept for this moment. That was a very nice execution, nice throw from Burrow. It was a timing route out there to T. Higgins, and Higgins comes away with it right in his lap. So just the way you needed it.
Then they go no huddle. Watch out! Pressure coming. Ball comes out. Mixon picks it back up. Can't advance the fumble. They're going to have to call their final timeout here. Absolutely what you don't want is to take that strip sack there if you're Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no, that is exactly the opposite of what you needed to do in that spot. T. Higgins and the previous play had just set you up in a beautiful position to have plenty of time to get yourself a couple shots at the end zone, but now you've backed out to the 23, only 10 ticks left, and no timeout, so you're kind of in desperation, but they're going to take a field goal.
Yep, just going to take the field goal now. Rookie kicker Evan McPherson, who's had a pretty solid season. His kick is up. His kick is good. 24-3. 7 seconds left.
Do not like that at all. That feels like just giving up. That was a wave the white flag and make the score look less ugly type play. That's all that was. Put a few points on the board and go into the locker room a defeated team. I mean that does not bode well for these Bengals team coming into the second half, because that's showing no confidence in your offense. That's saying we just want the points so that we don't look like we got shut out and embarrassed in a playoff game. That's ugly. I do not like that.
Yeah. All right, 7 seconds. Enough time to return a kick.
Yeah, the surrender formation. That's what it felt like. It honestly, it felt like they were just like, all right, whatever. This game's out of reach. We're not gonna win. Let's just get rid of the shutout here, and since we're in a position to do so, and we'll take our 3 points and cry in our milk in the morning. I mean, like. Yikes.
All right, well, Tennessee will take a knee, and that is it for the first half. It's been all Titans, but 24-3 is the official outcome of the first half. But this definitely the first half was more about the mistakes and the self-inflicted wounds that the Bengals provided for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. Now they had their opportunities. They actually had some glimmers of the team that they are. We know they are, but the mistakes have killed them, and then just you never give up in the NFL, never, and that drives me crazy seeing a team do something like that.
And now, when the other team knows you're going to have to pass, you're going to get that pass rush coming in again. We've talked about the weaknesses for the offensive line already.
Yeah, let the Titans pin their ears back and look out. They're going to take advantage of that as you see them coming at it again. Look out for Joe Burrow on this one.
Absolutely. Very quick little square out to Jamar Chase from the slot. He's going to pick up 2 yards, 1 yard maybe. 3rd and 13 now coming up. Elijah Molden, the rookie out of Washington. One play late there on the scoreboard. Sack was 2 plays ago. 3rd and 13. They need it. Oh, just a whiff on the right side again from Prince.
Yeah, that or they were predicting and they were one play ahead because.
Yeah, that's true. Fair point. Fair point. Bud Dupree gets back there for his second sack of the day, now 4 on the afternoon for the Titan defense, and probably not going to be the number that it ends for the season. For the game. Bengals are punting, and the double dip officially off the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though it wouldn't have been a true double dip anyway with the surrender for 3 points. But back to the prediction for the sack. I guess it wasn't that much of a prediction either. Knowing they're going to pass with the way the rush was coming, and Prince had already been beaten pretty badly a few times, and Dupree has been great in this game. So Dupree just clobbered Joe Burrow on that one.
Absolutely, he did. Here's a little moving of the pocket. And a short throw to Rodgers, the slot receiver once again. Intentionally moving the pocket. Kind of good, kind of fun to see.
Yeah.
8-yard gain here. Nissan Stadium, downtown Nashville. Beautiful facility. Up the middle, Derrick Henry. First down run to the 36. Go the other way, Phil. 36-yard line. As they're already in Bengal territory, and I didn't even realize it. And that's going to put King Henry into the zone now as well. As if they needed more. Well, that time they were able to knock him down after a couple yards. 9 carries, 73 yards for Derrick Henry. Again, coming off the injury.
Nice little. I was going to say the nice little clip there, over 7 yards of carry, is certainly going to get it done with King Henry back there.
He did. Well, I remember that first one went for 21 yards. He's just been padding it ever since. Fires left side. He's got his man. First down, throw and catch. A.J. Brown. There's 2 catches on the day for number 11.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been kind of quiet.
First down, he has. It's been a little bit more Julio in the receiving game in Ferkser.
That's right.
Trey Waynes, the corner, brings him down. Former Michigan State Spartan.
And of course, the only touchdown to Rodgers, the guy out of Grambling that nobody had ever heard of.
Right. Yes, receiving wise, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Big hit there as well.
Actually, I guess there was one other touchdown throw from
Swaim. Yes,
yeah, Swaim. I forgot about Swaim's. You're right. I forgot about Swaim's.
And there he is, right on cue. Thick-shouldered Jeff Swaim.
Yeah.
First and 10 now inside the 15-yard line. Motion coming from Brown. Fake the jet sweep. Give it to King Henry up the middle, and he's just going to fall forward for 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Joe Bocci Jr. Speaking of Michigan State Spartans on the tackle. Tick, tick, tick. Man, I really don't need to see the scoreboard every time.
No.
Exhibition mode.
Certainly don't.
I'm sitting here looking at the clock like, are we going to get this done before I have to go back to work? This game's taking forever, especially with another touchdown from King Henry, meaning another 1-minute kickoff delay.
Yeah, you can't skip through any of that either, can you?
No, I can't skip a single. Yeah, I can't skip a highlight. I can't do anything.
That's rough.
Yes, we take our first world problems. But I'll tell you what, they haven't had any stupid shuffle sacks. So
yeah, hey, take what you can.
What's it worth to us?
That's right. Pick your poison. Which is better? Yeah, I guess. Right. I don't know.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Hey, Wendell, welcome in.
Hey, yeah, what's up, Wendell? 31-13, it's been all Titans with special guest Bengals miscues.
That and a surrender field goal.
Yes, the feel-good field goal at the end of the half makes it a little bit less depressing. 2 interceptions from Burrow, a deep shot to Jamar Chase that gets called back for holding.
Yeah,
and
Wendell.
the return of King Henry.
Yeah, absolutely. Who has been huge in this game, over almost 8 yards a carry in this one, 76 yards and 10 carries. But no, Wendell, we are still going to get to that game. We just prioritize the playoffs since they're actually still to be played, whereas the Browns-Bengals game, is already past. So we will sim that game at some point, but right now the priority is to try to get to these divisional round games.
Yep. But yeah, these are actually just in exhibition mode, not tied to our franchise at all, because the playoffs weren't correct because of the Steelers tie and all the ridiculous back channel things that got them into the playoffs. We could not replicate those in the sim, so it didn't even have the Steelers in the playoffs.
Right,
so
which totally changes the playoffs entirely because of, it's not just the Steelers not being in, it would be seeding and all of it, not the wrong matchups. Which just is wild that one little.
Well, and the Lions tie affected the Packers weren't the 1 seed in the West either, West in the NFC either. So it was like, this is all messed up.
Yep, totally. It is totally crazy that they wouldn't allow you the option to sim a tie in Madden. They didn't think that it is a possible outcome. So why wouldn't they give you that?
I don't know.
But yeah, just those little things absolutely changes the complete face of the playoffs in our franchise. And now do I mind a little bit of a Steelers snub? No, but on the other hand, we are trying to match reality as much as possible, and Madden did not allow us to allow the correct playoff opponents.
No, it did not. Welcome, Zaire. How we doing, brother? So yeah, I guess if I go back and redo our franchise, I'll have to play that game and make it end in a tie myself, I guess.
That would be hard to do.
If I want it to be authentic. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess you could theoretically control both teams and force it that way.
Yeah, I don't know if it lets you switch teams in the middle of a franchise game or not. I'll try it out because I want to try to get the draft order to be as true as possible when we sim into the future.
Right. Unless we do it out of a different franchise.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll take the Madden's Week 18, the end of the season rosters, and I'll just run a franchise offline, then force win everything with that, and we'll see how that goes.
Right.
That's going to be easier than managing all the rosters to get them to where they're supposed to be. Bengals didn't get a first down, by the way. They took another sack and punted, and surprise, surprise, the Titans are in Bengals territory already.
And threatening again because, this is already not embarrassing enough for these Bengals. Let's really rub some salt in the wound here.
Yep, absolutely.
And yes, Sire, we're definitely happy to hear that Baker's already feeling better here at post-surgery, that it went well, and we wish him the best and hope he makes a full recovery as quickly as possible.
Tannehill, popped up in the arrow. It's going to be picked off. Sam Hubbard, go Bucks, picks it off the tip drill. So now 2 interceptions for Tannehill.
Yeah, again, not giving up on a play. He was actually chasing receivers down the field with Sam Hubbard, and he, because he came off the block, didn't give up on it, sees the ball tipped up and comes away with it. Nice hands there for the D lineman.
That's right.
He able to, hands drill that instead of just, body catch. So very impressive.
Absolutely. Sam Hubbard, an all-state lacrosse player at Cincinnati St. X in high school. So an athletic, physical player. We know what he did at Ohio State, and now he's carved himself out a nice niche here in the NFL.
Yeah, and St. Xavier was one of the private schools that when I was in high school, that's one of the Final Four teams that we lost to in one of the 4 years that I was there.
They are a perennial powerhouse.
Yes, they are, and it helps when you can recruit.
Yes, yeah. Well,
we were a public school. Yeah, we were a public school.
The Catholic schools figured that out a long time ago.
Yes.
first down run for Mixon to the right side. We're under 7 minutes to go, third quarter here. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, back on the mics with you again. We'll try to get all the playoff games done before they actually happen. Just more fun when the outcome is not yet known. And we will finish the Browns sim season. And then we will get Simulator Browns off season. And maybe we'll do a little bit more of that collaboratively. Kit and I haven't really talked about it, but maybe we'll actually talk about which free agents that y'all, the fan base, should think we should go after and things like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I was just trying to think. I remember the three of the teams that we ended up in like the Final Four playing that we lost to were St. Ignatius, St. Xavier, and Cincinnati Moeller, I think.
Yep. And St. Ignatius is in Cleveland.
That's right. So yeah,
right
two Cincinnati teams and a Cleveland team.
That's right. Right next to Great Lakes Brewing Company, St. Ignatius High School.
Yeah, I love that brewery. It's good stuff.
And surprise, surprise, nice spin move there. Good replay, camera work. Harold Landry, Boston College pass rusher with the 7th sack of the day for Joe Burrow. Bengals still looking for their first. And yet another punt from Kevin Huber. Broken tackle off a punt return. Pretty nice return, actually, up to the 31 for Chester Rogers. He's all over this game, Chester Rogers is. I saw that he got... James, I saw that his crew will not be doing any more playoff games, so I essentially got fired from the playoffs. I don't know if he's going to get fired from reffing. I didn't realize that they mix them all up. So it's like Boger and like two of his normal people and then like other quote-unquote good refs from other people's crews. It's like these guys have never worked together before.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that for playoffs. That never made sense to me. But I think they instituted the last couple of years, but made no sense when they started doing that. I think the crews working together is just as important as.
It is.
But but obviously, I think we all have a bad taste in our mouths from Boger's crew, and not just Browns games, because I think that particular crew was really bad throughout the season.
First and 10, swing it out right side. Hubbard there to meet Derrick Henry as we still have 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 31-3. Zach Taylor just taking it all in. Wendell's asking the question, which one do you want? Zaire, which one do you want? You talking free agency or the draft, Wendell?
Or both.
A stud in each would be fine with me.
Yeah, there's potential for both. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting, to say the least. So, I mean, I think the one thing that's pretty probable is that Landry is not going to be with his team anymore. That's a huge contract, cap hit for, the production really, kind of fell off this last season. I know he's a huge locker room guy, but there's not a lot of chance that he's going to be back unless they restructure to bring him back, which I suppose is possible, but it'll be dependent on what Landry's willing to do also. And then there's obviously there's just a loaded wide receiver class. And then there are some pretty appealing free agents as well that have proven they've got what it takes in the league. So
Sure.
A lot of potential all over the place in the wide receiver room, which is good because the Browns definitely need it.
I am right there with you. So yes, if we pull up a list of free agents in the wide receiver position, could I interest you in Allen Robinson or Chris Godwin or Devontae Adams?
Oh yeah,
for instance, that's the top of the list.
Wow, I think that was a microcosm of this game right there. That felt like Henry and the Titans running through the Bengals and just
Several
making them look
tackles
silly.
into the end zone, further annihilating them. So that's kind of like the first tier. Then you're going to get like Will Fuller, Jamison Crowder, T.Y. Hilton, Juju Smith-Schuster, Emmanuel Sanders, A.J. Green, Mike Watkins from the L.A. Chargers, Rashard Higgins, Zay Jones, Cedric Wilson. I saw a lot of people who were excited about Cedric Wilson potentially, the Cowboys. So there's going to be a lot.
Yep. Certainly
Christian
some talent
Kirk,
out there.
Adam Humphries is again. D.D. Westbrook. DJ Chark. So, yeah, there's going to be quite a Michael Gallup from the Cowboys. Going to be quite a few potential openings.
Yeah, James, that's absolutely wild that Bugger would say something like that. And, you know, that's insane. And I don't think I've ever particularly appreciated his reffing or his crew for quite a while either. But this season in particular seemed to be just more noticeably bad.
Yep. I guess not right off the top of my head. What is the RFL, Wendell? Nice big gain to Tyler Boyd. His fifth catch. Just way too little and way too late.
That's right.
Burrow takes another shot.
Yeah, if they'd have been doing that early in the game, this might be a very different game because that was actually a really nicely schemed open route and hit him in stride and goes for quite a bit after the catch. But, again, way too little too late. I agree.
He's going to throw off his back foot with blitzers in his face. He's got single coverage with Chase, and he's going to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Another throw and catch for Jamar Chase. Been a pretty big part of the offense today. Chuck it deep to number one. He has been special this season. But it does certainly look like the magic carpet ride is over here for the Bengals. Again, if this is any indication, I don't think they'll be quite as bad on Saturday, you'd think. But
no, I don't think so. I think they'll put up a much better fight than this. I would be shocked to see the performance look this bad. I would also be shocked, honestly, if just again, I think a lot of this has to do with Madden and its algorithms. At times are very head scratching, where you're just like, the heck are you doing right now? But I would say it's pretty safe to assume that we will not see a surrender field goal to close out the first half like that. I mean, that's just a message. I mean, it's messaging to your team saying, we don't trust the offense. You're not going to score a touchdown. We're going to put some points on the board. I mean, that's a complete and utter. I mean, you're really crushing your team in that. Both sides of the ball, really, because it's not helpful at all. And the mental part of the game is so overlooked. We talk about the physical part a lot. We talk about the talent side of it. We talk about a lot of a lot of it. But the mental game in football is so important. That's a lot of where the momentum stuff, the belief, that you can win is very important. It's also the mental errors piece of it with the discipline. So there's a lot of pieces of the mental side of the game that are pretty vital. And sitting here just taking a field goal when you should be trying for a touchdown. I mean, that's the exact opposite of what you want to do in terms of the mental side of the house.
Zip it across the middle. There's an open C.J. Uzomah on a 3rd and 18. They're going to convert down to the 22, mercifully getting us to the end of the third quarter. 38 to 3. Maybe the Titans will put it in chew clock mode or something here, because I'm going to have to bust out to work in like 15 minutes. So We may not get it, or I'll have to go quickly for the last 5 minutes of the game or something. Interesting. They use the Madden system regularly. Interesting. Okay.
So realistically, if you had to go early, I've got the ability to stop the stream on this end.
That's true.
So you could just pop off, and I mean, obviously your system will still be running, and you'll still be on Twitch or whatever. But I can at least stop the YouTube side of the house.
It's not a big deal. No, that's a good point. We'll just do that. 2nd and 3. Burrow, he's in a shotgun. He's back to pass. He's got his man over the middle. Inside the 5 is Uzama to the 2-yard line. Just 3 catches for the tight end, CJ Uzama. It's been a pretty good weapon for them this season. Shotgun 4, Burrow. Pressure coming, and sack number 8. And it's Harold Landry yet again. Jonah Williams, both tackles really just struggling with these edge rushers.
Yeah, absolutely. And
see, Dupree was about there too.
It's games like this where you are struggling and not playing well that your biggest weaknesses really, really come out in a big way. They really get exposed. So that the O-line being such a big weakness for the Bengals team, and we're seeing it, in a huge way in a game where they're not playing well.
Indeed. 2nd and goal, they're going to hand it off. Nixon gets just a couple. 3rd and goal now from the 10-yard line.
It's a kind of interesting concept there, Wendell. I'm kind of curious. I might just check that out.
Yeah, it out myself, yeah. Maybe they want live commentary to go with their games.
Possibly.
There's Burrow. He's going to take off, and now he's going to slide down at the 3. Scrambling for 7, sets up a 4th and goal. Probably should just kick a field goal here, though. Right?
Yeah. We'll make it look a little better with 6.
Yep, they are going to go for it here. Heavy personnel. That's Sam Hubbard in at fullback, by the way. And they're actually going to give it to Sam Hubbard. He's going to get tackled for a yard gain.
Wow.
Oh, you bring the defensive lineman in for the extra blocking, and you fool them all by trying to give it to him, and he goes for a yard, and you turn over the ball inside the 5.
Yeah, that's about the pace of this game. I mean, it's right on brand for how it's gone.
It is on brand for Madden's disrespect for the Cincinnati Bengals at this point. Derrick Henry still just 16 carries, 137 yards, and his 2 touchdowns. I think they would be happy with that in his return.
Yep, I do believe they would. Yeah, 430 yards to 100 and something. It's not a good day.
Nope, it's not. Henry up the middle again. Sets up a 3rd and 3. Tannehill in the shotgun. Hilliard on his left hip. He's going to stick it into the gut of Hilliard. He's going to run off tackle to the right side. First down, Titans. They keep the ball, and they keep the ball moving now. Over 200 yards rushing as a football team are the Titans. That's on brand. Another big run there for Derrick Henry. Well, Wendell, I'm not sure who they are. I'm not sure if fluke is the right word. I think it just was about 10 different things that went exactly Michigan's way. Maybe most importantly was the weather that day, if you remember. Really neutralized Ohio State's speed on offense in particular.
Yep.
And then, yeah, we just got bullied on the both lines.
Well, and I think a big part of that was that Ohio State's defense, although they started to come into their own a little bit later into the season, they were never really as good as they have been this particular season. They struggled a lot at times when it was critical. In the Michigan game in particular, we saw that they were kind of brutalized all over the field, really, but especially in the run game. And they were not as stout as they have been in years past, and I think that got exposed a lot more. I mean, we saw it against Oregon early in the season where that defense got hugely exposed. I think they corrected some things, but really they were just playing teams that weren't as good to be able to expose some of those weaknesses on defense. And then Michigan really had it together in that game, and for once came in with a game plan that I think was well designed to beat the Buckeyes in that game, and they did just that.
Yep, I agree. And obviously, I mean, in season it's just so hard to make the kinds of changes that needed to be made. You can see by the fact that pretty much their entire defensive staff is going to be new. Obviously, that's going to be a new system, a new scheme.
Yeah.
So hopefully all of those things, even if they can just be a little bit better, their offense is going to be lights out. So I'm not surprised that people are picking them to get back to the playoff and potentially win the Natty. As you saw in the Rose Bowl, the cupboard of receivers is overflowing.
It is.
Let's get rid of 2 All-Americans and then replace them with 2 other 5-star kids who are also freak shows.
No, they're absolutely stacked on offense, but even at the college level, although it's less so than at the NFL, you really can't afford to. I mean, we saw for years what happened, like with the Big 12 and kind of those all offense but no defense teams, and then they play anybody who's got any kind of a defense, and that suddenly their super prolific offense doesn't look that great.
Yep. Yeah, there's certainly been a lot of talk of that here on the local sports radio as well, James. That was like, hey, I know that it took a confluence of a whole bunch of breaks happening for me to be able to win the Big Ten, beat Ohio State, and get to the playoff. And I don't know if I can do it again, and I don't know if I want to try. So maybe, and they kind of did. I mean, they slashed his salary in half last year, if you remember. Now, by all accounts, they're willing to give that all back to him, but
it's interesting
he's
too.
He's the kind of person that keeps grudges. I've heard as well.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, he's a little bit on the unpredictable side. Actually, both of the Harbaughs are that way. But a little bit on the unpredictable side. I think, he played for Michigan, but I think he probably feels like they did, gave him a bit of a raw deal. And then, I think that he does absolutely hold grudges, and I would not be surprised to see him just be like, great, I beat Ohio State for you, I'm out.
Yep, I got you back to a level where you beat Ohio State. Somebody else could take over now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, there are plenty of jobs. He obviously played in Chicago. I'm not sure if that's a good fit there.
No, I don't think it is.
Did do some coaching, obviously. I mean, took the other Bay Area team to the Super Bowl, obviously. So Mark Davis watched that happen from Oakland. I actually think did some coaching in the Raiders organization, right?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he was an assistant coach in the Raiders organization. But no, I think that actually is a good fit for him, only because he is, he's a bit of a mercurial coach, and that's a bit of a mercurial organization, kind of like Gruden was a bit on that side.
Yeah.
I think that Harbaugh is in his own way, just in slightly different ways than Gruden. But they've kind of they're kind of a well matched, if you will, in terms of temperament and kind of how they operate.
Indeed. was a fumble earlier, and then they overturned it. At least they overturned the booth review happened quickly. Did we just lose like all game audio?
I don't think so.
Oh no, that was me. My headphones just like turned themselves down for a minute. That was weird.
Oh, it's like I'm still hearing it. So
It's like, where'd everything go? Another first down throw and catch as the Titans just continuing to milk this clock. Finally in chew clock mode, snapping it with 4 or 5 seconds left. Henry, again, left side, lots of blockers in front. 24 carries, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
yeah, that's a good day.
He
I mean,
has been as advertised.
if
Yeah,
he's able to come back and do that, that would be a huge boon for these Titans. I mean, obviously they played well without him, but imagine him doing that with it. You might see a game like this.
yeah. His 2 touchdowns. Heck, just one of his touchdowns alone at this point would be winning the game.
Oh yeah. So I got a spinny wheel.
I was gonna say that's not on my headphones.
Nope. That is definitely just spinning. Huh. I guess I can try refreshing here the Twitch and see what happens. Just a second. Oh, there it goes. Well, was for a second.
It's trying. It's thinking
Yep,
about
I think
it.
we're almost there. I just haven't tried to get this back to where it needs to be here. Oh, I had it, and then it decided to not. Weird. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I don't know why my internet suddenly being, I don't know if it's on my end, your end, or somebody's internet, something. But yes, I think this game is safely in the bag.
You're right, James. I think Twitch has said you don't need to see any more of this. Apparently.
Yeah, I think it's on my end because I'd probably have to stop this, stop streaming and start streaming again.
All good. The Titans continue to hand the football off. We're under a minute left.
Nobody is surprised.
That's what's.
Oops, I gotta go to. That's why.
Even Dontrell Hilliard, 7 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown in this game. He alone would have beaten the Bengals.
Yes, Hilliard alone, which
Good balance for the Titans. 42 passes, 38 runs. That is a boatload of plays to run
that is a ton
in an NFL game. They're going to kick a field goal as time expires.
Because why not?
41-3.
Make it more of a beatdown.
Score. Yeah. Not at this juncture. Oh, interesting. Maybe it is. Mine says poor connection quality. Broadcasting mic audio only, which obviously I'm not broadcasting any mic audio.
Yeah, that's probably on my end.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, your stream currently has reduced video or audio quality due to network conditions, so who knows what's going on with my internet.
Well,
at least it didn't happen until the game was way out of hand.
This is fun though. We'll wrap it up with this one. Bengals were not good.
No.
Titans were very good.
Yep.
End result is 41-3. So appreciate everybody being on with us. We will try to get some of these tech things cleaned up for next time. But we do appreciate you being on. And again, I've got to bop off to work here. So for Kit Nagy and for Phil Nagy, today we will say go Titans. Thanks for being on. Good to be back, everybody. And we'll bring more playoff games to you very soon. Stay tuned for those. So, again, today we'll say go Titans. But as always,
Go